right, I am here in Michigan, and check out the view. So if you notice behind me, we've got the big house, one of the largest, if not the largest, college football stadium in the country and home to the current national champions in football, the Michigan Wolverines. I also have a very special guest with us here today, and I'd like to welcome her in to talk about Michigan. Ooh, we might have to lower this because Eric's a little taller.
Eric's way taller.
All right, so I've got Joanne Giardini-Russell, the owner of Giardini Medicare, with me. She has a massive TikTok channel. She is fantastic, both on TikTok and with all things Medicare. So welcome.
Thank you.
I have some questions about Michigan for you.
Oh, go for it.
Michigan, so when we talk about, on all of these videos, we're talking about kind of the average cost nationally for supplement plans. And for a 65-year-old, it's $150 is the average nationally. What are we looking at here in Michigan?
We're a little lower, but I'd say this year we edged up to about 140.
140?
Yeah, so
And
we're catching up.
Plan N, the average is around 120.
About 100, 110.
110 here.
105, 110.
I try to tell everybody part of the reason for those states that are lower than the national average is usually because they're an attained age state. And I think we're dealing with attained age here. Can you explain what attained age means?
Well, we actually don't encourage looking at attained and community and issue because it really doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's just your policy is going to go up every year that you have it, so don't get kind of caught into those. But it's essentially when you come into, or every year you move up, it's going to go up with you. So just expect that your supplements are going to go up.
Right. I like to say like attained age is actually going to be impacted by your birthday. The happy birthday increase as you attain a new age versus the other ones still have increases. I think that's the big misconception.
Yeah. Don't ever think your premiums are not going to go up. Just don't, really. So many don't you find they get hung up with, just show me a spreadsheet till I'm 100, and you cannot pick the perfect plan based on one of those rating philosophies. You just can't.
They are going to go up. There aren't any plans that don't. Attained age, you just
sauce.
might see 2 increases a year with your birthday and the annual increases that insurance companies do to account for healthcare costs and inflation.
You could.
Now, from a supplement plan perspective, we also talk about the penetration rate. So how many people, and it's my wife's least favorite word is penetration rate, but how many people are choosing supplement plan as opposed to something else like an Advantage plan, FEHB, or other things? And nationally, the average is 21%. Here in Michigan, it is 17%.
Yeah.
But you have a unique perspective. It seems like you have a lot of clients that are still picking that.
We have mostly, I'd say 80% of our, it's gone to 75, 25. So we're 75% Medicare supplements, 25% Advantage plans. A lot of reasons, a lot of factors really come into why. It's who you're working with. We work with a lot of financial planners or credit unions, things like that. So we might have a different base than the national average, but it's a good place for supplements though too. So there really shouldn't be any skewing other than we are pretty heavy in Medicare Advantage, as you'll bring up next.
In a lot of the states, there are opportunities for discounts even further than the traditional things.
Yeah, we have household discounts. We've got pay in full discounts with certain companies.
Do you have a wearable discount? Like if you're willing to wear a smartwatch?
Yes, with a couple carriers we do. Yep, you can track your little Fitbit. You can do that. You've got, sometimes it's further discounts if your spouse or someone has the plan in your house, or it could just be a roommate where you live with somebody who's 26. That can count too.
So that if you go directly to an insurance company that either offers one of those discounts or doesn't offer any, they're not going to go tell you about the other insurance companies that do offer this.
Right.
Use an independent agent who's licensed and familiar with your state. It will never cost you anything to use us. And I even tell people, even if you don't want to use us, use our competition, that's fine, but use an agent to help you with this. If you do need help here in Michigan, we have partners who are licensed and familiar here in Michigan to help you out.
Yeah, we're advocates of that too. It's like there's just no reason. Somebody asked me recently about, well, how much does it cost? And our services there's no cost. So why would somebody not take free help?
Yeah.
And you just got to be careful if you're going to a seminar with one of our carriers here, HAP. If HAP puts on a seminar, that's great, but they're not going to tell you about Priority Health Plan, right? So you get caught up just in exactly what Erik says, is that they're just not going to tell you. So it's different. So of course we advocate the agent system, but protect yourself. Agents can help you.
So let's actually move over to the Advantage plan side of the conversation. So the national average for Advantage plan penetration rate is 50%. Here in Michigan, you have the highest Medicare Advantage penetration rate in the country at 60%. But there's a reason for that. Joanne, why is that?
It's largely the automakers. So we've got the big 3 automakers in our backyard in Detroit. So you've got UAW, Planned, you've got Ford, GM, and Stellantis now, I think it's called. huge, thousands and thousands and thousands of people there. We also have a very heavy and large teacher system in state of Michigan. So state of Michigan, you got teachers, UAW, and that really skews the numbers because those are retiree plans. Yes, they're technically Medicare Advantage, but we consider them as retiree plans. Example, if you're seeing us and you're, talking, you're a GM retiree, you don't need to work with an agent like us. You just need to go talk to your UAW trust folks, and they'll help you get your plans going. So it's skewed. It's definitely skewed.
Well, and I try to make this point in all of them is when I talk about the penetration rates, if you're in a state that's high or low, that isn't us advocating that you do or don't get that plan. It's just kind of what we're seeing here. And there are reasons why it may be higher or lower in certain states based off of what you're looking at here.
Definitely.
When we talk about Advantage plans, we often look at the MOOP, or what we call the maximum out-of-pocket, your maximum risk in a given year. And the national average is $5,000. Here in Michigan, it's
right around 5,000. Yeah, that's really average. If you might have a tight HMO for about 3,800 if you get that low, but that's not the norm. And then you might have some national carriers that are maybe 7,000, but usually it's about 5.
Perfect. And with Advantage plans across the country in general, the more rural you get, the less kind of access you have. At least there are fewer plans to choose from, or none at all.
Right.
What are we looking at here in Michigan?
Metro Detroit, of course, it's fine. Mid-Detroit, mid-Michigan, you're fine. We're like this, we're this whole mitten thing. But up here, you start getting into the UP, that's where you have problems potentially with Medicare Advantage plans. You're going to get more limited choices up there. So some people have supplements just because of that. Maybe they want to dip into Wisconsin and maybe networks and things like that. But it's a good state. Most of our population is down here. In the west side of the state, you've got lots of pretty inexpensive supplements and good systems too. We've got University of Michigan here. They have their own Medicare Advantage branded plan, so people can go to that. So and all the nationals will accept their plan. So they're that's easy. If you live in Ann Arbor and you go to University of Michigan hospitals, you can find good Advantage plans if you're good with Advantage plans.
Now, I leave a keyword at the end of all my videos.
Oh, that's right.
So it's to show that they've made it this far.
That's
if you
right.
leave the keyword in the comments, then is that what you want?
Oh, I get to pick. I didn't know I got to pick.
We got a Michigan State gal here.
Standing in front of the big house.
Standing in front of the big house. So if you leave Spartan in the comments, you're ticking off so many people right now. But if you leave Spartan or Wolverines in the comments, then we'll know that you've made it this far. And I just take those comments a little bit more seriously because people like to bash us in these videos, having not watched all the way through.
Yeah.
But that will show that you've made it this far. Joanne, thank you for being here. I'm so glad that I got to see you.
Super fun.
This is wonderful.
Super fun. Love the road show.
Yeah, this is amazing. Before the rain hits us, we're gonna get out of here. But, all right, we'll see you in the next video.
Great.